Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Tell It Like It Is with LaNe'll Sheree. This is episode 7, lucky number. So it's going to be some lucky information for you guys today. Our topic today is overcoming adversity. The definition to adversity is difficulties and misfortunes. Some of us are born into the lesser side of the equator where we struggle and we come from a place where nothing is readily at our hands. We have to find opportunity. We have to motivate ourselves sometimes. We have to teach ourselves sometimes because in most situations, if you're from a community where there is a lot of struggling going on, you don't see too many people to look up to because everyone is just trying to get by. So if you feel like you want to be a lawyer, a doctor, a teacher, um, a government official, if you have dreams that are outside of your normal reality, there are some steps and some things you might have to overcome in order to become the person you truly want to become. And along that way, there can be so many interruptions. And that's where I'm speaking about the adversity. It kind of goes with my last conversation about stepping into your position. And, there are some obstacles that you might have to overcome. But in this conversation, we're talking about, the reality that I don't have this information I need that will help me get where I want. And sometimes the information has to be sought out. It has to be um, looked for. And it's not always going to be easy. I don't know if I actually thought life was going to be easy. I just didn't know it was going to be this hard. And when it comes to um, me looking back over like the things that I felt growing up, like I remember watching ice skating and it would make goosebumps all over me. I remember, and still sometimes to this day, if I watch certain things and I watch someone in a movie or in reality them reach a certain point in life, it gives me goosebumps and it makes me want to reach for a higher goal. So I ask myself, what is life to me? And to me, it is just not me getting up and going to work a 9 to 5 that has become unfulfilling to me. And then when I think about everything that has just come to me, I try my best and I always think big for some reason. Even when I started my first career in fast food, I was a supervisor within 3 to 6 months and wanted to be an owner, but I didn't want to be stuck in a restaurant the entire time it was open because I knew about theft, I knew about, product loss. It was just so much that would come with owning a restaurant that I just didn't want to put in that much time on a restaurant. And that's what I told myself because I was in a position to, I was um, going through the stages of becoming my own restaurant manager, and I was going to have my own restaurant, but evaluating everything, I ended up going to the medical field. And I look back over there and I wonder, did I do the right thing? Because I could be owning about 4 or 5 restaurants right now but anyways, I really wanted to be a helper. Something made me want to be a helper. And so I went and I got my medical assistant license. And during that time, I ended up pregnant. And then I took a maternity leave. Like, once I finished the courses, you have to take an extern. So before I started my extern, I took a maternity leave. And it must have took me some time to go back because I went back pregnant. And so I graduated pregnant. And my husband wanted me to be a stay-at-home mom, so that's what I did. And the point of that is just to tell you that in a way, I just dealt with so much adversity during that time that life directed me a different direction, even though I wanted at first to be a restaurant owner, and then it could have been self-sabotage, who knows what it was, but I ended up going to the medical field, and then just ended up pregnant back to back. And being a stay-at-home mom, I didn't ever work the field the way I wanted to. And then once I tried to get in the field, it's like the only way in was through the kitchen. And I felt very belittled every day that I went there, and going to the floors, delivering meals to people. It and I had a degree to um, do blood work, do everything that a patient needs to get ready for the doctor. So watching the people in their scrubs, and I'm coming from the kitchen, that messed my mind up. And then I went back home because I really wasn't ready to let the kids be on their own, and my husband wasn't either. So I ended back up at home, and plus trials and tribulations with the marriage and stuff like that. So I ended up going back home. And then I found the hair industry, or I was directed to the hair industry. And the thing about that is that so many people over the years had told me to do hair, learn from them. I was already good at it, or I had a nick for it. So and people picked up on it. So they were like, "Why you not doing hair?" But I just didn't ever take it seriously as a career. And so just like in the restaurant industry, once I came to the industry, my boss mentality kicked in, and it was like, how can I own? How can I own? And um, I've been on my own for 2 years now. I've been graduated from school 3 years now. But the adversity I face is not having the background, being so new and fresh when people they want you to have a lot of experience, and they want to see pictures and they want to see your work, and that is a shock to you. You're like, "Yeah, I don't have a lot," and been in the beginning, some of the salons I work for, they didn't allow you to take pictures. You couldn't even promote yourself because you were working for them. So, um, going on my own is you're on your own. And that's the thing. Going back to, adversities we face. from just growing up in the struggle. We just have to teach ourselves. And at this point of being a hairstylist, when I chose to go on my own, because working for someone is just not fulfilling. If you're not putting into your dream, you're putting into someone else's dream. And when you feel you're special, if you're feeding into someone else's dream, the draining that you cause yourself, the stress is endless, because your true calling is just knocking at the door, knocking at the door. And you're trying to ignore it, you're running from it, you're just like telling yourself you're not good enough. These are the things I face. I don't know enough. And, but you need it now. You need income now. You need to pay for this, that. Life costs. Life costs. Everything in this world, it costs. We're probably paying for the air we breathe, and we just don't know. So how do we overcome all this self-doubt? How do we overcome lack of information? How do we overcome lack of opportunity? How do we overcome the no's that come along with this? Because this might not go right. So you just have to keep going. You have to keep going. You have to keep going. Find another way. And so I got to the point where, okay, maybe it's just not. Because that's what happened to me in the medical field. I really felt like with my marriage, my children, my situation just wasn't allowing me to be the medical personnel I wanted to be. So when I came to the hair industry, it's coming off as the same thing. My lifestyle, my marriage isn't fitting in with what's needed of building in the hair industry. So you can step back and just stop putting so much pressure on yourself. Stop trying to do so much, and stop beating yourself up about what you don't have and about what you don't know. You just keep going, and you do what is at arm's reach. There is something called, let me see if I have it in this book. I'm sure everybody knows this. Learning in college, not in high school. I didn't learn it in high school, DLSISD. I learned it when I started some college courses, and they would teach you about creating your goals, and it was called SMART goals. And a SMART goal is specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and timely. You have to be specific in what you want. And what I do know is I want to be a helper. I want to be respected. I want to be able to direct and resolve. I want to be a leader. I want to be the one that people come to for the worst. And I'm going to give you what you need. I'm going to direct you where to go. I'm going to give you the solution and you gonna know the answer. I'm not gonna let you figure it out on your own. In a world of a million no's, someone has to be a yes. Okay, when we go out here and we're just trying to get help, you're trying to get Social Security, you're trying to get disability, they make you go through a whole whirlwind to get these benefits. And you're almost dying. And you're not knowing what else to do. You're struggling and you're getting deeper and deeper in depression, anger, and the help should be at arm's reach. So when you find yourself in a place of adversity, you were born into adversity, and you have a dream, and you want to know, how do I reach my dream? You can look at Barack Obama, the first black president, people that created everything around us, the light bulb, the toilet, whatever it is you want to look at, someone created it. And how do you make your creation a reality? And then deal with the trauma, or not trauma, but the difficulties that come with it, because nothing is going to just come together. I'm pretty sure that the person that created the light bulb went through a whole lot in order to understand what they were doing. And so we can't be discouraged by failing at something or not getting it right the first time or not going the way we wanted it to. You have to remember that there's more than one way to get something done, and the way you think is not wrong. You just might need to go and find some things that will develop what you're thinking to make your equation work. You might have to add in other things from other people, because if you are born into the hood like myself, and I want to build a platform that people find useful, I want to build a platform that people find useful for all things in life. You need help mentally, physically, emotionally, financially. I want to be able to help people with that. And I'm willing to testify about it. And I'm willing to do something with nothing, because I came from nothing. I came from struggle. My mama did the best she could. And that's not what we're talking about. We're not talking about the person. We're talking about the struggle. Okay? And I wish that we could prevent that side of life. But I guess there's always going to be poor people. There's always going to be rich people. There's always going to be an in-between. But how do we help the poor? How do we help the people that really don't like their circumstances, but when we're growing up in certain places, it's only McDonald's to work there. There's no YMCA for us to go and be a lifeguard. When you really need to work at 14 years old because your mother making $12 an hour and or less from back in the day. How can you help legally and not get stuck in a cycle? I always tell my kids, they need McDonald's workers, they need toilet wipers, they need people in prison, they need people that don't think outside the box. They need people that don't overcome these trials and tribulations. And then you go to the other side, to the rich people, and a doctor is building his son to be a doctor. And 9 times out of 10, a lot of them do follow in the steps. Some of them don't. I know some people don't go astray because money isn't everything. But I'm talking about what is at hand for for certain people is not at hand for other people. And this is reality. So how do you build a mansion on Pine Street in Dallas, Texas, where we get hectic? How do you make your dreams a reality when no one tells you the blueprint of life and you lack opportunity? You write it down and you speak on it and you study it and you believe it. And then you have to not care about what no one thinks. I am the type, I'm an open book. And most people around me know that because I went through a lot. And a lot of people say, oh, well, you just shouldn't have told your business. Or, because that takes people away from you. Some people get in a place where they like, I don't want, all she talk about is drama. All she do is that. She still going through that. They still broke. Oh, he still ain't got, people are really just want you to have it together. So for those that are in a place where you just don't have it together, you have to go outside your normal places of life. You have to go outside your family. You have to go outside the people you labeled friends. You have to cling to your faith and know that what you're feeling inside is okay. And if you can take action towards it, you should. If your gift is drawing, but what money do you really make in drawing unless you're, you know, an artist that Apple uses at this point, or what do we use? We still put paintings on the wall and stuff like that, but how do you believe that that's your calling? Like, I like writing poetry. I've written my book. I've started a clothing line. I've done a lot of things that whatever comes to me, I try and make it happen. Has it made me a millionaire? No. Will it? I hope so. Do I care about being a millionaire? No. But I want to build generational wealth. I want to build a foundation where my children can build on, not have to start from the bottom. Overcoming adversity on a daily basis can be drainful when people telling you that's not what you need to do. Oh, you not good at that. Oh, whatever it is that, and I can't believe that people literally come at you with negative the way they do. Oh, I want to do this. I really want to do this, whatever it is. And then you have someone, oh, well, how you going to do that? Oh, girl, you can't do that. People don't care about that. Oh, or they don't even say nothing. That's the worst. When they don't even say nothing. You having a conversation with your dang own self. People just don't want to believe in each other no more. But it's in you. And it's what you want. So you have to make it happen. So if you're going through a negative relationship, cheating, the man and the woman, if a man is getting cheated on and you're feeling less than, if a woman is getting cheated on and you're being hurt and betrayed, you can leave or you confront the situation. Because if two people are together, but you're unfulfilled, so you're cheating, why be together? Because we be content, we be used to something. And it's the same thing. If you're in a career and you're unhappy and you're making everybody around you miserable, you're not willing to help nobody, you're not willing to educate anybody, you don't even want to be there. You clock in and you want to take a lunch. Oh, bless me. You clock in and the first person is getting on your nerves already. Whoever, whatever you're dealing with, like, oh my God. If you not the right size you want to be, if you want to travel and you can't travel, if you want to change something on yourself and you don't know how to change it, you have to put one foot in front of the other one and keep going. We have to. We are here to have children, be fruitful, live, love, be happy. We are here to uplift, motivate. We are here to do good in life. If you want to build, everything, we're not supposed to be materialistic. We're not supposed to, you know, um, care too much about anything on this life. We're supposed to be praising. We're supposed to be worshiping. So we're supposed to be building a relationship spiritually with our higher power. And if you're not doing that and working towards helping and healing, then what's the point of you building a clothing brand? What's the point of you wanting a car, brand new car, to go where? Just go around bopping for men, go around, you know, high capping. You're only working to build an account to go buy Gucci, Louis Vuitton, these brands that are coming off as pedophiles. or we're here to literally build a bloodline of praisers. How do we do this? How do we stop avoiding our true purpose? And this is how I'm doing it. I am speaking about it, and I am literally taking control of what I want. If I think God told me to testify, He didn't tell me to testify to myself. So therefore, I'm going to start speaking. And I don't want to. So yeah, I do want attention for the right thing, okay? Because going on TikTok, making a TikTok about mediocre stuff, it don't give me that many views anyway. But when I do something about my true calling, it gets me the views I want. Even though I'm like, dang, people don't want to listen to this. You know, how can I literally be a person, a God-fearing woman, and still be relative and be understanding and non-judgmental? Because I've drank, I smoke, I quit smoking cigarettes. That's another thing that if someone is trying to overcome. I quit smoking cigarettes. I don't know if a lot of people know there was a mob wife named Big Angie. And some years ago, shit, I don't even know how many years ago I quit smoking cigarettes. But I quit when she died because she was on Wendy Williams, and I loved Wendy Williams. She was on there, and she had to a real raspy voice. And then I don't know how soon it was after, but she died of lung cancer. And I don't think they was talking about that on Wendy, so that's why it was a surprise to me. And then, trying to become single back then, I was just meeting people that were like, "You smell cigarettes? You smell cigarettes?" And those toxins do put a stench on you, inside and out. And so I'm glad I overcame that. And to overcome it, every time that I wanted a cigarette, what I would do is I took a verse out the Bible. This too shall pass. If I crave a cigarette, I would say that to myself. This too shall pass. And you get up and you do something. You get up and you go clean the bathroom. You get up and you go do your makeup. You get up and you go mow the lawn if you're a man. You get up and you go paint a picture. You get up and you go do whatever it is that you like doing. Go check on your kids right quick. Go walk to the garage. It don't matter what you do. Just go do something. It'll take your mind off the cigarette, distract you, and you just keep that going, and you just keep that going, and you just keep that going. Every time you want a cigarette, get up and go do something. By the time you're done doing what you set out to do, the craving is gone. And guess what? When the craving come back, do it all again. This too shall pass. And after a while, I just didn't even want it no more. It became stinky. It became just irrelevant to my life. I don't care about a cigarette anymore. And I'm grateful for that. The damage is done, because once you introduce something to your system, it really doesn't ever go away. But you can start a healing process. So with every adversity, there is a solution. No matter what your adversities are. If you're born into poverty and you want to make it out, you have to have discipline. You have to have some honor about yourself. You have to have some faith in you. And you have to be willing to do the work, fail, and get back up again. And when you succeed, congratulate yourself. I wanted to read a poem to you guys. And I don't memorize my poetry. I'm sorry about that. Because I've written so much. I've written a lot of poems. This poem means a lot to me. It kind of goes with our topic of overcoming adversity. I hope that you have a takeaway. And most of my takeaways in my videos is to keep going, to use your faith. And with God for you, whom shall you fear? No one, nothing. If you stand in the presence of your Savior, the power you feel, the strength you feel, the security you feel, the promise you feel, the love you feel, undeniable, and it empowers you, and you'll be better to make it to the next day. You won't want to just sit around and do nothing. I'm in a place where I can't sit around and do nothing. I had to sit back, take a break, and let myself know that I am wanting the right thing. I'm wanting to testify about what my Savior has done for me. I was partying, drinking, smoking, this and that, and He came and He saved me. And He saved me for a reason. And I don't care how holier than thou I sound at this point, or psychotic, or because the closer you get to God, the more you want to stay around Him. But mere humans, even my flesh sometimes, what we think is regular is not worthy of our Savior. So life to me is being more than what you see. I create energy and I want to use it for positivity. I want to be aware of the power of my tongue, so I want to speak only words that are worthy. I want to literally know and be a reflection of what my Savior needs. Because I could have given up. I don't want to be at strip clubs. I don't want to be at bars twerking or, having threesomes or, fine with my husband cheating or the type that cheats herself or, I want people to see people succeed. I want to see people position themselves for power. Because the world is going to keep going. Who is this bloodline going to be in it? The mediocre workers or the trailblazers? And from where I'm coming from and over this time that I've taken a break, I went through my life. Going back to where I got distracted, but remembering who I always thought I was or wanted to be. I love Maya Angelou. I love poetry. I love motivating. and I love speaking. I've always been a great writer, and the decisions I made people think less of me, made people not respect my word, and it limited me because I'm not as developed as I want to be mentally, so that's why I struggle in my dialect. That's why I I can have a very great conversation. Like if we're conversating and you're asking questions, like you can get something out of me. So that's why I know who I am. I'm a speaker, but I have to do this all on my own because I don't have any direction or, just any way of knowing that, in any way of knowing really how to get what I want done. Like, where is my team gonna come from? Where is my business period gonna come from? It's gonna come from me working hard, believing, and something's gonna come through, and I'm gonna be able to testify about it. That's what I do know. That's what I believe because all I know is that I am overcoming a lot of adversities. I am continuously going, and I am gonna keep going. I'm not gonna walk away from nothing else anymore because I am resilient. And that's the poem I want to read to you. Resilient is an understatement to describe this human race. All we've overcome, the depths we've climbed from, still grace to till this land. Separated by color and different dialects flow from each tongue. Our voices may utter multiple accents and deliver a multitude of tones, yet they're rising to one accord, wailing our sole purpose is to build this nation, secure our homes, and no one should feel less equal. From the furthest corners of God's green earth, yearned from deep down south to the frozen hills that ascend up north, way past the South Atlantic Ocean, straight to the doors of Capitol Hill. We all want the same thing. We all bleed the same blood, crave the same love, need purpose in this life we live. We have survived Mother Nature's flood, reconstructed after world wars, fighting to make amends with our forefathers' sins. After holding back our beautiful black descendants, the Holocaust, the dangers overseas, our healing rests in the power of making no person feel dependent. We walked the moon. We have become Martin Luther King's dream. Positioned the first black man for a chance to lead. Now needing the humbling spirit that would be more compassionate to replace trust broken by the mere man. Show a new meaning of equality that all people understand. Reverence, a new emotion to lead the spiritual man. Resilient in all we do, from the depths of the ocean floor where our oil rigs dig, pulling Earth's main source to the ever rising skies, we soar, creating our own course, leaving our mark of pure excellence for centuries to see. How resilient is this generation manifested to be? We've overcome a lot in this world. Deadly diseases shut down the whole world. We couldn't go nowhere or do nothing. People are at war now. And I'm here. You ain't heard a bomb fell. You ain't heard nothing. And there's a whole war going on. Somewhere right now, someone's dying. Millions of people in every hospital around the world. Someone hurting, crying that I don't know, that I do know. Someone going without. There's a lot going on in this world, and it's time for as many people that want to help. I don't want to be selfish. The one thing that I don't have that I feel like would help the world is money. If I was a billionaire, I know I'd be a great helper. So I know that I'm heading to generational wealth because there's no negative I want to do. There's only me teaching prevention measures, wanting people to believe me. Like literally, men and women, we need to save ourselves for marriage. Stop having children before you can provide, before you have a foundation, before you know about ownership, before you know about credit, before you know about a bank account, before you know about all the things that build a successful individual. We're learning about sex, drugs, and the wrong type of money. Living paycheck to paycheck does not compare to building generational wealth. What is it that we have to do to get through to the next individual? I had to be drugged, slapped. I had to be raped, robbed. I almost committed suicide in order for me to realize that there is a better way to life. And the simple thing you need to pay attention to is being able to say no. Knowing when to say yes, knowing when to say no. Every choice matters. And I don't care what age you are. If you're a 5-year-old child and you learning to steal, you learning to be a criminal. So if you're a 13-year-old boy and you're learning to sleep around, you're hurting other females. You learning, oh yeah, I'm out here, I'm being a player, but you're turning another female into what you label as a whore. Females, don't be promiscuous. Have some dignity, have some pride. It doesn't matter whether you're a Coke bottle shape or SpongeBob. Everybody can get a man, baby. Everybody. But it's what type of man you getting. What type of woman you getting. Someone that you're willing to be faithful for. Someone that you're willing to provide for. Someone that you're willing to sacrifice for. Someone that you're willing to develop for. Someone that you're willing to be better for. That's what you need to save yourself for. Not just someone to experiment with. Because you're building up karma, you're building up sin. And when it comes to diseases, when it comes to cancer, when it comes to being broke, when it comes to getting robbed, some consequences have, our consequences have no regards to your feelings. So don't put yourself in situations where you can you're not ready for the consequence. Know what you're doing, when you're doing, why you're doing it. Because being born into a situation and putting yourself in a situation are two different things. Overcoming adversity because you're born into something is easier. But overcoming trials and tribulations that you put yourself through, don't blame God. He's there to comfort. Okay? He's there to direct. But always acknowledge your part in everything and hold yourself accountable before you go confronting our Savior. Now you're born into something and you're wondering why, oh man, why I just can't, why I'm just not doing better in life. There's no way. No way a true Christian is doing bad. Okay? Because you notice, you take steps, you take action. Now, if you're in what I call la la land and you stand on the corner every day, or you stay asleep till 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and you wondering why you in the same situation, boo, don't wonder why. Know why. Okay? But when it comes to me feeling like I don't want to say I wasted a lot of time. I just know that I didn't accomplish a lot in this time. I was at home with my children. But like TD Jakes said in the sermon, sometimes it could be a woman in the house, but there's no mother. Sometimes there could be a dude in the house, but there's no father. There's no man. There's no leader. See, I'm stepping out of being a mere woman and I'm becoming a God-fearing woman. And I have to remember that. And then when I go to certain places with me knowing this, I can't go to all places. I can't fake no more. Not better than anybody. I just want better. And my better don't come from scheming and trying to hustle or deceive somebody. It comes from building and wanting a foundation that people can really be proud of. So whatever adversity you're facing, just know that we can cut through it. I am. I keep going. I pray and I keep going. I pray and I keep going. And I feel better every time. I'm going to approach it in a better, even better aspect. Like when I go to my salon, I'm already happy. That's not the issue. It's just that once I'm in my salon, because I'm not seeing people like me all the time, I'm feeling attacked by something that's not even there. So you just got to keep going. And it's going to work out. So today's topic is about overcoming adversities financially, spiritually, mentally, relationship wise, whatever it may be. We can confront it and be aware and redirect it. Do not self-sabotage yourself by thinking you're not good enough. Know you're good enough. If you've been put in a position, led to something, you do your best in it and move forward. If you're working in fast food, go ask the manager, hey, I'm trying to move up to supervisor. You could do it in 2 to 3 months. I'm a hairstylist. If I want to build my clientele, I'm putting out more work. I'm putting out cards, and I'm finding ways to move people's mouths, because word of mouth is everything. And as far as this platform, I'm being more serious about my topics. I might stumble, but like I say, this is from the heart. This is not scripted. So I may stumble, but the purpose is clear. We're going to keep going, and we're going to be people of faith, and we're going to be testimonies, and we're going to be proud of doing the right thing. And I'm okay with that. You be okay with that. And as time goes on, we'll get better and better. I hope y'all are enjoying my videos. I truly want to motivate and inspire. And I hope you like the poem at the end. And today is Monday, so I hope y'all have a great week. Till next time, have a great day.